Hi everyone, it's just wee me calling from Australia. My name at school was Doreen. I went to school from 1964 to 1968. I do remember a lot of the people and and I have lots of lovely fond memories and funny stories. Some I've shared on Facebook. I put a few pointers down to sort of try and remind myself as I go along. Alan told me I've got 5 minutes, so here I go. I've heard tonight that you're going to have a quiz. So I was in Red House, and so go Red House. Show them what you're made of. Okay, I went to Mountie after Hillman Street Primary School, and I thought I had landed in heaven. Compared to Hillman, my Collyer was fantastic. I loved my sports. I did a lot of running, netball. We did it in those days in our navy knickers. Yeah. Then one day we decided we would ask Mrs. Nichol if we could wear skirts. So they got together and they designed the maroon skirts that everyone wore after that. So girls, the ones that came after me, thank our generation that you didn't have to run about anymore in your navy knickers. I tried to look for my stuff tonight, but I ran out of time. I've got my own business, a beauty and tanning studio for this past 12 years. But here is one of my medals. I run for the hurdles. I have a few other ones, and I have ones that is a cutout of the actual paper telegraph where it said that we broke 14 records that year in sports. Holt Waring, Peter Bosnett, Isabel Cowan. I remember all those people that loved their sport so much. Miss Hogg was our PE teacher. I loved her a lot. She went on to marry when I was still at school, Mr. Wedlock, so she became Mrs. Wedlock. And if you're there tonight, Mrs. Wedlock, hi. We were great friends. We went down to the cottage one day, and one night they called us out in the Mourne Mountains. It was the old single house, not the double story. We were about 14, and we watched about 12 of us as all we can say is like little green crosses, pink crosses, and red crosses dashed and darted about the skies in the Mourne Mountains. I wonder if any of you remember that, because to this day I do not know what we saw. It wasn't any aircraft that I knew. Okay, I tried to think of some things. I remember the old cookery class, Mrs. McCallion. I hope you are there tonight, and I hope you are really well. When I started in the cookery class, 1964, we were downstairs, and we hadn't moved into the new cookery rooms yet, in the new part of the school at that time. We had big wooden benches about that thick, and I remember after each session of cookery we had to learn how to scrub with the grain, and over the years these benches had bends where people had scrubbed over the years. One day Mrs. Moody asked me to go in, and Pat Haggerty, to clean the pantry. were the pots and pans in the old cookery room. Um, we went in and I decided I would scrub the walls. To my horror, uh, the wallpaper started to peel off. It looked like blue and white tiles, but it wasn't. It was wallpaper. Of course you thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Another time, I remember when we did move over into the new part of the school, and we were not allowed into the new gym without having our mutton dummies or gutties, whatever you call them, without having them on because of the new floors. At the end of one session, we were to put the big green mats away, and it had a we had a big trolley to do that. So Maureen Farrell, Anne Wilson, Faye Waugh and myself were left in charge of doing this. In the meantime, we thought we would have a bit of fun. Maureen Farrell, who ended up as my bridesmaid later on, Maureen Farrell actually and I got on the trolley. Anne and Faye were throwing the mats on top of us. All of a sudden, we were giggling, we were in hysterics. All of a sudden, it went quiet. Who peeked through the side of the mats and the trolley? But Mr. Shanks. Oh, he called us outside. He told us to hold our hands out. Maureen went first. He took off his slipper, his gutty, and I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. To this day, Mr. Shanks, I will never forget that pain. Maureen nearly hit the ground, me too, and I promise you I would never have done anything like that again. I hope that you've all had a great time tonight and enjoy more of it. I do remember Mr. Jarvis. He passed away while I was at school. He was my bookkeeping teacher. He would be very proud to know that I did go on, and also Mr. McCartney. I did go on and I went into accounts office in Seaview Co-op. We got married, Roy and I, we got engaged at 16 and we got married at 18. I got a photograph. This was us on our wedding day. Well, we got married in 1971 on the 2nd of July, so God willing, this year we're married 40 years. I just couldn't let it go without a funny story. I said to Alan my lips were sealed, but I'm just going to tell some wee tales. Who? The boys I kissed at 90. Chris Dodds, Hugh Maddow, Tommy Ireland, Herbie Venus, Jackie Stewart, and perhaps a few more after that, but Roy and I were settled and engaged at 16. I've never looked back and I chose the right direction. I'm now the treasurer in my church and I love it very much. I love Australia. When you be watching this, it will be Australia Day here in Australia, so we'll be having some fun. I wish you all of you teachers, Mr. Dickie Henderson, all of the ones, Mrs. Young, people who keep popping into my mind, all of you girls or guys who remember me, I wish you all a fantastic night. I so much wish I could be there with you, but I do the next best thing. Cheers. God bless you all. All the teachers who taught me and all my friends back home. Cheers. God bless you. That's all for now, folks.